Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. How are we all?
We are here almost pretty much bang on time, 1 minute past, and I think we did pretty well.
Just a small wobbly camera at the end.
Slightly wobbly, but we're there now.
But it's there. Hello, lovely people. Hello, Timothy Grief. Hello, Drop Bear. Hello, Into the Glory Hole. Hello, Dead Hands.
Hello, some weirdo called Robin Brooks.
Yep, and Matt Penner's in the house. He's very excited.
Matt Penner's
he must clearly loves a poll, Matt Penner. He's been on our Discord telling us how excited he is about it.
Who doesn't like
Michael Fett's here too. Hello, Michael Fett. 14
Michael,
of you lovely people.
Michael, you're one of our newest patrons. I don't think you've joined the Discord yet. Do check out your emails to get the invite to join the the Discord, because that's where it all happens.
Or something.
All the other people.
This is very true.
Michal Trojanowski, is that pronounced right? Trojanowski? Michal Trojanowski says hello, welcome aboard. Don't think we've seen you posting before, so welcome.
Hi, Michal.
Sorry, I realised it looked like I was going off screen to try and peer at the name on my other screen, but I wasn't. I was just cleaning my glasses and happened to be shifting my pose at the same time, and that's just.
You were doing your what?
I was just cleaning my glasses.
Oh, I see. Sorry, shifting. I see.
So yeah, here we are. If you haven't noticed, Robin's in much more high def tonight. He's got his 4K camera set up.
I have, but it's a little bit heavy for the tripod, so I'm just waiting for it to just go bosh. It's more like Trojanovsky.
Okay, I tried.
Trojanovsky, yeah.
I tried. I'm sorry. I did try.
But welcome anyway. We will mangle names from anywhere in the world.
Yep,
we're happy to do that. Wherever you're from.
Yep. Canada,
whatever root derivation of your name, we will destroy it.
We will absolutely make horrible assumptions about it.
British fashion.
Yeah. And still claim that we are right. I noticed your camera's a little bit darker, Robin. You might need to up the brightness on it at some point, but we're not gonna play around with that right now. It works.
Okay.
Works right now. Just gonna leave it.
I look glorious as ever. Oh, I'm looking sharp.
Looking sharp.
Yeah, can you see my every bit of stuff? I noticed the other day, actually, when I needed a shave, I noticed that I've got some grey coming through on my beard.
Stop taking the piss, all right? It's all I can say. It's like mostly grey.
I'm forever youthful, mate.
You bastard. Don't mean it really. I do a little. So we've got some stats tonight, some very interesting stats to go through. And
I do hope, AOS fans, you're all like stats, because we've signed up for the stat monkey.
We have,
and we will be thinking of surveys for at least for the next 12 months.
Yeah, a lot of surveys. We figured we thought maybe we could try doing a monthly survey. Had to see how things progress after each warband comes out, or something like that. Yeah, we like Robin says, we've paid the 350 quid or whatever it was to get a year's worth of Survey Monkey, so we're going to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters for enabling us to do that, basically.
Which I need to ask somebody, and I might as well ask here, if there's a way of pulling off popular cards from out of Underworlds DB, out of all of the, they've got all the centuries of tournament decks, where there's a way of pulling out which are the most popular cards from the data there.
Well, I guess we need to ask the Oracle himself how much of that.
I probably should ask Jason. He's probably the best person to ask.
See what stats he's borrowed. And I was thinking that maybe if we get maybe a bigger sort of almost like an underwriting. Sorry, fuck's sake. I work for a company called Underwriting to do with underwriting. Sorry, Underworlds, an Underworlds sort of census going. Maybe we'll try and get all of the different content providers involved and spread the word, get as many people on, because we got 250 responses tonight.
Yeah,
which I was pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. So
the more people we get responding to these things, the better. Matt Penner says yes. I do like this comment from Sylvester Back. Hello, all awesome channel you guys run. Excellent. That's what we like to hear. So I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yes, always glad to see everybody enjoying this. We wouldn't be doing it if people didn't enjoy it, basically.
Well, we might.
Yeah.
You talking to each other, yeah. But, having you guys along for the ride just makes it so much more fun.
Exactly.
So are we going to crash on into the data? Do you want to talk about the questions that you asked, or how do you want to?
I think
This is kind of your show.
we're just going to jump into it. Just going to smash straight into it. So I think we'll start at the bottom with the end questions because they were maybe the more dull ones, and we'll get to the juicy WARband ones.
Oh, nice idea.
Nearer the end, I think.
Hanging out for what they want.
Treat them mean, keep them leaving and not coming back again. Fuck. No. Right. So yes. So the first question we had was, how long have you been playing for, or played for, since you'd given up? So we had a lot of options here, like since pretty much the beginning, 13 to 24 months, 25 to 36 months, 11 to 1 to 6 months, 7 to 12 months. So half a year to a year, 1 year to 2 years, 2 years to 3 years, the whole time, or like a month or less, that kind of thing. So I'd be interested to see if people want to shout out in the channel, in the chat, what they think was the most answered in that one. So pop your question, pop your what you think the answer is to that one, and Robin can answer what kind of squash he's been drinking tonight.
Well, I'm just typing the answer.
Hello, Lazarus. Evening. So yeah, do you think? What do you think was the most voted for since pretty much the beginning? 1 to 6 months, 7 to 12 months, a year, 2 years. What do people think?
You're asking me.
Well, you've said them, haven't you?
I might have done, but they didn't know that, so we could have pretended that I didn't.
Oh damn! Oh, ruined it all with your uncanny guesses. Yeah. Matt Penner reckons.
I wouldn't have guessed more because I did scout. As you said, the first questions were more interesting. So I was concentrating on those more. The second one, I can't remember. I believe people have got 2 years coming in here since the beginning. Shadespire, Damien says. I think Damien has it. If I remember correctly, I think it is most people.
Into Glory Hole says 7 to 12 months. Also, welcome Damien Skozik. Hopefully, again, I'm handling that one. Please correct me. Dead Hand says go for 18 months. So the answer to that one is pretty much since the beginning.
Yeah.
We can see this. If I quickly, I can pop it up on the screen here. If I can find it again. Here we go. Ping. There are the stats.
Heavy Funk Monk says 1 year. I think we've had Heavy Funk Monk comment before, haven't we?
Hello, Heavy Funk Monk. Say that. Funky Monkey. And Damien. I don't think we've seen either of those two. So welcome aboard and thank you for posting. Everybody. Hopefully we'll get more interaction.
Hey, John Grant's in. Michael Fett says 7 to 12. I do feel like a lot of people have joined into the hobby recently, more so than in previous seasons. But Scotchick.
So I was real miles off on that one. So apologies, but I will try and remember.
CZ I think is Ch, because like the Czech Republic. I think that's how I'll try and remember it.
Could be. Yeah, there does seem to have been an influx of newer people, and I wonder if the vampires are partially to thank for that. But I guess we'll find out as we go on. Maybe,
or possibly, I think even pre-vampires, much less people were anticipating them coming. I think Chasm has been a positive sort of result. I think probably the Dread pageant have helped people like those. And the Lumineth's got quite a few adherents, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So of the stats, since pretty much the beginning, it accounts for nearly 38%. Between 1 and 2 years is 25%ish. 2 to 3 years is about 16%. 1 to 6 months is 10%, and then it goes down from there. Only 1.2%. Only 3 people who answered the survey. Less than a month. Well, I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. Obviously, absolutely. Things might be a bit skewed. Newer members might not know so much about us. That's why we need to get the next census out there as much as possible and get people to answer that one. John says we better be nice to Authari, or that's it. Well, I have to say it's not. It's your guys' data, not ours. I haven't even done the things, and my data definitely isn't even in there. Exactly. So the next question we had is, what tournament formats do you prefer? We had a single day event, a one-off friendly, tournament, or leagues over a matter of weeks or months, or a multi-day event. So again, let's give you 30 seconds. What do people think was the most answered? What do you think, Robin? I'm just going to say that Michael Fett liked the price and variety of WARband. What drew him in. I think is a very good point for why this game's so great. I think people prefer. So was it which type of single day events? Yeah, one-off friendlies. I think single day events. You think single day events? See, yeah, I'm wondering if friendlies, one-off friendlies, is the way to go. Whether that's what people want most, but I guess we'll find out. Horned Rat Minis in the house. Hello, Horned Rat Minis. Welcome aboard. Hope you're enjoying it. Anybody who is enjoying it, do give us a thumbs up. Great. Single day event. We've got 2 votes. A single day event. Yeah.
so far.
I mean, we've kind of been to both. We've been to a multi-day event and we've been to a single-day event because we got knocked out in the first day, so we didn't bother playing. So we just played in the.
Really, a single day event. I had no expectations that it would be a multi-day event for myself.
It's true. It's true.
I think. I mean, I personally, if I thought I might qualify, I'm not sure I'd go to a multi-day event. If that makes sense, I think I'd have been quite disappointed if I qualified because it's really tiring and I wouldn't like wanted to get up and do it again the next morning. Maybe if I was better at the game.
That is the biggest problem, I think, is just the time and the absolute level of stress that's involved in it is pretty harsh. But yeah. So the answer to that one is, and if we pop up the results, bing, it's single day event. One-off friendlies are the next one, but trailing by a good half. So it would appear that people really do like single day events the most.
I think if you're going to, by definition, if you're going to have an organised thing, it needs to be a tournament, if you see what I mean. I mean, I think people will play happily on the friendlies on their own, but if you're going to go somewhere and play it, you want it to be competitive in some way. Obviously, we're hoping to still, at some point in the next 18 months, have a event of our own. And there'll be some sort of competition, but more of a friendly-based competition, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll have to work that out. But I can't imagine people commenting how tiring 2-day events are. I can't imagine doing it for 2 days.
We've got Jan Sinkovic, and again, I've probably mangled that, so apologies if I have.
You're game for keep trying, though, Pete.
I'm gonna keep giving it a bash. So don't read into it too much. It's just the play base getting older and so more tired. I mean, I started this game tired, and I've only got more since.
Aaron says that the friendlies is the funner part of the game, even though he's not very. He is very competitive. I mean, I like a friendly because it's more fun, and you can try different things, and you don't have to worry if it's. If your deck doesn't quite work.
Which happens more as you get older.
Yeah, absolutely. It just kind of lose it in the middle. I've told you I'm very youthful. It doesn't happen to me.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next question.
Hey, Pete, it was the best pronunciation anyone English speaking has done so far.
Hey,
so
victory
to
me.
Time the charm.
There we go. I'm going to put that down mostly to the fact that I work with a lot of people from sort of Eastern Europe and stuff, so there's lots of Sinkovics and so on there, so that's my only reason for being able to say it. Aaron Fortool says, indeed. Haha, that is very true.
And Wolfman Gaz is in the house. Hello, Wolfman Gaz.
What up?
Good to see you.
Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying it.
Watching. Oh, hello, I don't think I said hello to you, VJ. You popped in good morning, didn't you? Good morning,
you did,
VJ.
Yes, good morning. So let's see what the next question is. So the next question is, what is your preferred play style? Is it control and dominating? Is it objectives and keeping all your precious? Is it offensive all the way, or is it flex? So what do you think, Robin? What do you at home think? Do post now in the chat. What do you think it is? Control, objectives, offense, or flex?
Flex. Let's think. I think it's either at the moment, as the meta stands, I think it's either offensive or flex. I think if you'd asked this question a year ago, you'd have got people saying objective.
Yeah, I think so.
But I lots of aggro.
Lots of aggro. Getting a lot of aggro in the chat.
Is that people's favourite, or what people? Yeah, that's what people think is going to be the favourite. Yeah, I think. I mean, I prefer flex because I just find it more interesting. You're not quite so reliant on the dice, which, as you know, Pete, can be very frustrating.
Yes, sometimes if you rely on the dice to get you your glory, you might be up shit creek.
But I think I would definitely be aggro flex these days rather than whole objective flex, whatever that is.
So let's see what people say in the chat. They say the answer, our survey said, it is flex. Flex is the top.
But this just in, Orc Tim, says aggressive is the best. Who knew?
Tim is in by no means any way whatsoever bias in this. So it is flex, then offensive, then objectives, then control at the minute. I don't think there's enough going around, depending on what meta you're playing. Yeah,
there are a few people who love their control, aren't they? But I think they're few and far between, and they're quite special bastards. And I think quite a lot of the top players like their control. But I don't think this game lends itself that well to control. Turtle cast is poo. I mean that's kind of like the extreme control, isn't it? And I think they've been quite careful to avoid that happening again. Yeah. But I think this is a hard game to play in control.
So there we go. There's that one out of the way. The next one up is, which ways do you play most often or want to play once COVID is done? Or once COVID does one, to be more exact. So the options we had here is online via cam games, via Underworlds online itself, online via Vassal, online via TTS, or face-to-face. So what do you think, Robin? What way do you want to play most, like to play right now most, or would like to play once COVID does one?
Before or after COVID? So now?
So it's basically in general. What would you prefer?
I think overwhelmingly everybody will say face-to-face, and I think everybody prefers to play face-to-face. There might not be everyone.
What do people think of the stat? What do people think in the chat? Do let us know. I mean, one big benefit to playing online via TTS or Vassal or cam games is that you can play anyone anywhere. You can pretty much, even somebody 12 hours behind or ahead of you, you can find a space somewhere where you can both get a game in. And we've both played people from America and Australia and all the rest of it. And that is a big plus.
From. I mean, I enjoy playing online. I love the flexibility online gives you, but face to face is just so much better. Admittedly, I only play you, Pete, and I love you, and that's probably why I like it so much.
Who wouldn't? Who would want to sit opposite this alabaster god?
Exactly, you bastard god.
Yeah, mostly that.
I think. I'd be interested to see how many people carry on playing Vassal and such.
What I'll ask, I mean, so many people have said face-to-face here, so I think face-to-face is a given. What I would like to find out is, what do people think is the lowest out of them all? Assuming face-to-face is the top, do you think it's TTS, Vassal, cam games, or Underworlds online? What do we think is the very bottom spot on that?
So if you're playing online, effectively, what's the way people least like to play online?
Yeah, basically.
I'm going to be controversial and say Warhammer Underworlds online.
Matthew Penderson online. I'm assuming, Matthew, you mean Warhammer Underworlds online, the game. Wolfman Gaz says cam games maybe not the easiest to set up. That is true. Cam games can be tricky to set up.
I mean, we've never played cam games. I actually wonder whether that's whether Games Workshop are displeased with us. I was reading about Fantasy Flight being displeased with people playing their games on TTS, and I wonder whether they're displeased with us because we've chosen to play on TTS rather than cam games. But I just don't have the space indoors to play, and I certainly wasn't going outside in January to do it.
Also, it wouldn't have been that good. You wouldn't have been able to see the cards properly.
It would have been really hard to do it. It's all right to play a game, I think, but trying to record it and make it presentable is another level. I can see the argument. Sorry, I can see the argument against, even though we have bought all of the stuff and we're not really using anything that we don't already own to play on TTS. I guess you might be encouraging people to go that route rather than buy a set. But I think by and large, I think there's almost nobody who plays this game on TTS who doesn't own 95% of everything that's available.
Yeah, and somebody was saying in our Patreon Discord the other day, they were saying that one of the houses, one of the game producers, I can't remember who it was now, actually sort of accepted the fact that COVID means you people, nobody's going to be able to meet up for now, so use TTS, that's fine. I can't remember who it was who said that or which outfit it was, but they'd said that they'd released stuff to say, you can't do this right now, you can't meet up, so TTS is the sensible way to play this kind of stuff. And you still want to keep that interest up, don't you? You want to keep people buying the stuff and they want to have something to come back to, so you need to keep their interest in the meantime. To expect them to buy warbands but not actually be able to use them for like 3 or 4 months is basically fucking ridiculous.
It's a bit madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I agree. And a lot of companies have, like you say, released official TTS versions or endorsed TTS versions. I mean, I know on the testing side of it and the reviewing side of it, it's all been done online. Obviously, because there isn't any other way to do it.
Yeah.
But it does seem, I know they've got Warhammer Underworlds online. It does seem a bit crazy to me that in the more than a year that we've been in this situation, Games Workshop haven't either just come out and said, okay, the TTS version is okay, well, not okay, but it has our, if not our blessing, then we use it to play our games.
Our temporary approval on for now or something like that.
And I assume they must be using it in the background. I think.
I can't work unless they're all playing cam games, but that must be an absolute pain in the arse. If so, maybe they are. I don't know. And certainly anybody who works at Games Workshop isn't going to say anything other than toe the party line, which is
No, they wouldn't. No.
And I can see why they're doing it at the same time. They need to protect their IP, but I feel like they're a company that was really in tune with their fan base. For a long time, they were doing some fantastic stuff with their fan base, and they're starting to slide away from that again.
They are. They seem to be. That's part of discussion for another night, but yeah, they do seem to be. I mean, apart from the fact it would torpedo Underworlds online, I sort of wondered why they haven't bought their own digital version on TTS, official version, and charged 15 quid for it.
Yeah, they should
possibly with Warband DLC as well, because people will cough up.
Yeah,
I think.
So let's see then. So everybody said face to face for the top one, and Underworlds online for the bottom one, or possibly cam game. So let's see what it is.
I don't know why my wife insists on always doing a wash on Tuesday evenings. I can hear the washing machine. I'm going to go and turn it off.
I can't hear it, but yeah, fine. So it's face to face. Face to face is top, and bottom is cam games. So I think some people said cam games. You were right, and I think the reasons why you picked cam games is probably an accurate summary of that as well. In that it can be a lot of faff to set that kind of stuff up. You need a good space to be able to set it up, and you don't need to have all the warbands, but it makes your life considerably easier if you do have all the warbands to hand, that kind of thing. So yeah, it is what it is. But yep, so online,
all mine are stored
in the shed, in the garage. But not only that.
So yeah, my headphones cut out.
So yeah, it's because you walked off. Your Bluetooth disconnected.
Well, it did. Well, it kind of didn't. You were kind of a little bit broken, and then you seemed to be okay. And then I started speaking, and everybody went quiet.
Instant Glory Hell says that as much as he appreciates Val's straight out Shade Spy, and we all do, I think he's done a fantastic job there. And another one's coming up soon, although we're not going to be able to cover that one. We will be covering the one in June, where we will be commentating side by side, hopefully. They are not easy to set up for cam games by a long stretch. So yeah. So there we go. There is the answer to that question. So there we are. So we are back again. So let's move on to the next one. This one's a fairly simple one. What do you prefer, best of one skirmishes or best of three matchups or others? What do you reckon, Robin? Best of one or best of three?
I think this is one of those questions.
It is one of those questions.
So 50-50.
I see.
It could be 50-50. And I feel like most people, but more people will say best of three, but really they mean best of one.
So what do people reckon? Sticking in the chat, best of one, best of three, or other? Now, obviously, if you answered other, Matt, with your best of nine, I can't remember what you put now. Something like best of nine. I can't remember now.
Best of nine endurance game.
That was it. Yeah, best of nine endurance game. Ha ha, very funny.
Best of three, we'll sneak it.
Aaron Fortall says best of one for friendlies, best of one competitive. I mean, if you've got the time, a best of three in a friendly isn't too bad. And sometimes if you have a really crap first game in a friendly game, kind of it's almost that unspoken sort of thing of both parties just sort of go, play again? Yeah, okay, play again. And I think we possibly on the games
Michael agrees with me. I like Michael.
We would possibly play best of threes more if we had the time, I feel.
I think so. It's the time and the variety.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, it's kind of like we have done less heavier when we could meet in person. We did less heavy edits of the later games, didn't we, to get them out? But also, it's you basically we need to knock 3 games on the head in the evening. Otherwise, there's no point. We're not going to come back and play the same Warband the following week because people want variety.
Heavy Funk Monk says, treat it like snooker, best of 25. Boom.
It's the World Championships is on at the moment, isn't it?
Other responses we had were things like anything in person, playing 3 to 4 player games, best of 2 somebody put in there. So there's a lot of options. So let's see what the result was.
Best of 2 is an interesting one.
I guess you would play best of 2, and if it's 1-1, then you go to glory score or something like that. I'm not sure what you do.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable way to play.
I think most of the
time.
What
I don't like about best of 3.
Go on.
Sorry. Silence. No, what I don't like about best of 3 is that third game if you've had 2 tight games, then you've got no time to play that third one. That almost feels a shame because I suppose you would say it's part of the tournament experience to build to that, but some warbands, they require going their glory in that third round, and if they don't have that opportunity in the third game because they run out of time, it's a bit harsh.
That is interesting. It kind of hamstrings warbands or decks that are specialising in end of game glory generation, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean there aren't a lot of those, I don't suppose, but it feels like having gone to have an epic. I mean, I'm not a big tournament player, so Matt's talking. He's here tonight, so he might be able to offer a better perspective. But I kind of feel like if you've had a titanic tussle that's 1-1, I feel almost like it would be better to settle that on glory difference than it would be to have a half-assed, quick 10-15 minutes get through to the end of round 2 and settle it that way. I feel like that would. I don't know. I feel like if I lost that way, I'd feel worse than if we'd had a game that was 24-22 to me in the first game and 25-20 to the opponent in the other game. Yeah. So I lost on glory difference. I feel like I would think that was better.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe we try and introduce a best of 2 in our AOS TTS.
Best of number 2s.
Yeah. So let's see what the answer is for that one. The answer is best of 3. So I think though, it does come down to a bit of whether you're playing competitively or not. I think, like you were saying, Robin. I think
it's about making sure you are playing each game in under 30 minutes. Honestly, a lot of that comes down to practice.
Yeah, it really does.
Yes. Yeah, and I guess if you absolutely, and I'm guessing people who play at the highest competitive level know their warband absolutely to the bottom, and so they can just play it, not quite in their sleep, but they don't really have to think about the mechanics of the warband itself. They're only thinking about the game, and that probably makes it much easier to get down into the game. I mean, I don't. Not very many of my guys go to best of 3 actually at Growing Clashes. Funny enough.
I mean, Matt and Matt are disagreeing because Into the Glory Hole, Matt says that best of 3s can't be played in 90 minutes. Matthew Penner says that he disagrees. He regularly plays best of 3s in an hour and 15. I mean, I have played a best of 3 going to the full 3 matches and finishing all 3 matches in an hour and a half. But my God, it was stressful, and I'm not sure I'd ever want to repeat that experience. I have done it,
but it wasn't. No, and I think it depends a little bit. And I guess maybe that comes down to warband selection. It depends a little bit on what warband you're playing. Some warbands are easier to play faster than others. For sure. That's
true. Yeah, Magor's charge. I've only got 3: charge, draw card, charge, or whatever. But yeah.
Matt says so many gripping games of best of 3 that get pooped on because the final game is rushed.
That can be an issue, and that's kind of what you were saying. That
I think so, and it just is a shame that it's rushed. But then maybe that's part of it. I mean, the other Matt says he's never had a set go to time. So,
I mean, most of the time it's usually 2 games and you're done, isn't it? I don't think very often it goes to 3 games, but
not when I play.
Not when I play either, for very different reasons. So there we go. There is that one. So on to question 2. So this is one before the Juicy Warband coverage question.
Oh, Juicy Warband coverage. We have to make last an hour.
Yeah. I can't make anything last an hour these days.
It's in the third game. 2 hours from best of 3. Drop Bear says you should have.
I mean, I quite like the idea of doing a best of two. 2 hours for a best of three. I think that would do my head in though. I kind of like the idea of having more time to be able to get in 3 games, but I mean, we can barely get a game in an hour and 20 minutes, so
That's because we talk too much.
we do. That is true. You don't talk very much during the proper tournament style game.
Into the glory, I'm going to make a brilliant Underworlds pun here.
Sorry?
I'm going to make a brilliant Underworlds pun now, though I've kind of telegraphed it, so it won't be so good. Matt says into the glory hole says he tries to. He's done it. He's done it for me.
Oh, he just shot it. Just took it out.
Spent too long explaining it. I was going to make my set the tempo joke.
Oh, so close. He's gone. Robin's gone. Oh dear. I do agree that it's definitely you definitely have to be focused. You definitely need to know your warband and your deck, so that when you start to set up, it's almost like a game of chess where you know what models you're putting where, you know pretty much what your moves are going to be. You know what your starting hand needs to look like, kind of thing. That all those things that you just know them. Whereas when we play games that take like 80 minutes, we sort of sit down and roll off, and they go, what board do I want? Which way around do I even want to fucking put the board?
What do my fighters do?
Well, yeah, exactly. What fighters have I got again? So there's definitely that aspect slows it down.
Matt does make the good point that if you go 2-0 in 45 minutes, 2 hours is rather a long time to wait for. Well, not 2 hours, but 15 minutes is rather a long time to wait for everybody else to finish.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tricky one. I just feel like in some ways best of two almost obliterates that problem.
Yeah, best of two in 90 minutes.
Or even yeah.
Or maybe
90 minutes, I guess, or maybe 75.
It would just take some of the pressure off, wouldn't it? And you're still unlikely to have that many ties, because if you both win a game, it comes down to who has the most glory.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that often where you're going to end up with a tie. And if you do, that's fine. I mean, matches can be ties, so you get a point each and move on. That's easy enough to sort out.
Yeah, but Matt's won a grand clash, so maybe that's what we're doing wrong. We're just not on top enough.
I mean, there's definitely a tablespoon of salt needs to be taken with any of our comments really on these kind of things. So we're on to question 2. And this question is, what game formats do you prefer? Now, I did miss one out when I set this up. Someone pointed out I missed off Alliance format, so apologies for that. Anybody who likes playing Alliance, but on reflection, I'm not sure how many people play Alliance. I think there is an Alliance tournament going on at the minute online.
I think people do like it. I don't know how people. I wouldn't know if people put it as their favourite, but I know a lot of people like it. I think a lot of the top players like it. And again, Matt's in, so he's my representative top player, because I think it adds an extra challenge to work with three not opponents, teammates to sort of come up with the best deck across 3 warbands.
Yeah, because everyone's gonna be sitting there going, well, I want distraction. No, I want distraction. No, I need distraction because I need it for this. Yeah, but I need it for that, and so on. So let's ask the question of the masses. What do we think people picked most and least? So most and least. So the options you've got are, there's Relic format, there's Warhammer Underworlds online format, because that is its own sort of format. There is Arena Mortis. You've got Vanguard. You've got the good old Vanguard Plus, which we are rocking at the minute on our TTS tournaments and
Sigmar invention.
And maybe. Championship, obviously, is on there. So, what do people think? Least and most. So, a lot of people are saying Championship, and I think they're all saying that as the most. I think my favourite at the minute is probably Vanguard Plus. I am really enjoying that. Or sometimes it becomes Vanguard because we end up playing with 2 warbands from Chasm or whatever. But Vanguard/Vanguard Plus, very much appreciating those. Don't know about you, Robin?
That's all I've played pretty much since Chasm arrived. Or certainly since the Ravagers have been out. I'm really enjoying it. Vanguard Plus, I think, is really good. I think if you restrict the warband restricted cast to just 1 per warband, I think it makes it a fair fight pretty much across the board, and I've really enjoyed the games we played.
Tim says he wishes he could play Vanguard Plus. Why can't you at the minute? Oh, you haven't got a computer, have you, Tim? Sorry. Yeah.
I don't know what to do, Tim.
Yeah. Hopefully at some point you can. I hope to see you back. Hopefully at some point in the tournaments.
Very tough for some of the older warbands, though. It is tough on the older warbands, but to be honest, most formats are tough on the older warbands.
Dropbear says Vanguard's made the game feel new again. It has. I feel like it's because you don't have that previous season worth of cards that are just a given and a must-have each time. It does make it feel like a new game again. There's not all of the just all the must-have picks each time. It's just almost new again. So some people are saying Arena Mortis. Some people are saying Relic. So I've got the stats here, so there's no point in me guessing. What do you think's bottom of the pile, Robin?
Relic. Oh, maybe Arena Mortis. I much prefer playing Arena Mortis to Relic. I wouldn't ever play Relic ever. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with what I would say, and I'm gonna say Relic is the least favourite.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed playing Arena Mortis for the few games we played of that. I remember thinking, oh, do I want to do this? Is this just going to be a waste of time? But actually, because you've got like 4, 5 or 6 you play the game, it's just a good, silly bit of fun. It's good. Yeah,
my experience of playing it could do a couple of hours shorter.
Yeah, that is the one problem.
Other than that, it is really fun. I think by the end of both games, I'll be on my knees. I just don't care anymore. But certainly the beginning, it's really good fun.
Dropbear says that shame about the Essentials pack. Now we've kind of come around on the Essentials pack a little bit. I think we've maybe changed our minds on most of the cards except maybe the greats.
I think we see the need for it if we don't necessarily agree with the card choices. I think is how.
Yeah, I would love to have seen the Essentials pack without.
I think about it soon.
Ooh. I would have loved to have seen the Essentials pack just without the great strength and great fortitude and great speed, to be honest.
That's all we're going to write.
Yeah. That's it. The end. Yeah. Right, so let's see what we've got then. The answer is, of course, Championship is top by a country mile. There we go. So we've got Vanguard Pluses next. I was quite happy to see that, and then Vanguard thereafter.
Yeah. I wonder whether that's because a lot of people who filled in the survey are our supporters.
Could be.
But it was nice to see that.
Another reason why I'd like to get this out in the community and maybe get more content providers on board, maybe see if we can get it onto Underworlds DB, even see if we can get people on there just to maximise our net. Jan says that his LGS has got the Skaven Warband stock again and he does want them but feels a bit wasteful since everybody dislikes Relic. I mean, you can still play the Skaven Warband. You
can still play the Warband. And they're actually one of the ones that perennially become good and then slightly less good, but they're pretty good for a Season 1 Warband. I would Skaven are worth picking up, I would say.
Definitely. And you can play Skaven in even Vanguard format because they've still got some good Warband specific cards in there as well. Bottom of the deck was Arena Mortis, which I guess I'm not too surprised about. I was sort of surprised that Underworlds Online wasn't bottom, actually.
I think perhaps it depends on how you think of the question. I think if you said you could play one of these, which would you pick? You'd probably pick up. Most people would probably pick Online.
Yeah, that's true. Other Matt did make a very interesting deck for Skaven. That is true. I think Jan, you should get the Skaven regardless. Get them, worth it.
The models are brilliant.
Yeah. There's some of the models that haven't aged at all, whereas things like Gerzag's Iron Skulls.
They were a bit stinky all round. Sorry, Tim. I know that.
Yeah,
they were a bit stinky when they came out. Now they're not. Yeah.
Especially against like Morgox. Morgox is just, they're sexier models, I'm afraid. Although I know Morgox don't really do it for you, Robin, do they?
No. No, not really.
Nope.
I guess I'm just not orcish. I'm the anti-Tim.
Anti-Tim.
He likes orcs. I'm not so keen. He's good at the game. I'm not. What did you say about my orcs?
So there we go. Matthew Penn says if you want a fun deck with him, he wrote one up in his blog last week. So
I missed that. I missed that post. I need to go check that out. I
remember seeing that. Yeah. Did you advertise it on the Discord, Matthew?
I'm sure he did. But I missed it. Was it a championship deck? or a Vanguard Plus deck. I'm assuming it's Championship.
I would assume Championship.
I'm not going to let play it because I'm contractually obliged not to play.
So, I'm going to start with a few questions before we start looking at the stats for this, and these are ones you might not be able to. You might not spot the when you looked at it. So I'll see what people vote for. Of all the warbands, we had 252 responses. This question was, which warbands do you find, do you like to play the most, either as or against? So playing with them or against them, which warbands do you like the most? Multi-choice, you can pick as many as you wanted. 252 people have responded. Which warband? The warband that got the least votes, how few did it get? Was it like 5, 10, 15, 30?
Out of 252?
Yeah, 252.
But you could vote multiple times.
But only for one warband at a time, obviously. So you could vote for every single one once if you just loved them all to pieces.
Yes, but you could. Yeah, so okay. Other than that, yeah. It was Championship and what you played with the last Battle Pass. I see. Cool. I've got 3. I'm gonna say who got the least. I think.
You don't have to guess the warband, just the least votes.
1.
1, okay.
1.
So, I think, and I hope that this demonstrates that we did have quite a good response, a good spread of responses overall. The least was 15.
Oh, wow, I wouldn't. That surprises me. Does that mean 15 people just clicked all of them?
Oh, maybe.
Could be. I like everything. They're all good.
And let's and then a follow-up question then. So we'll start with some stats. I'm not going to share these on the screen because or else I'll give away too much other stuff as I'm showing these off at the same time. So can you guess, Robin, which the least popular warband was? Everybody in the comments, mash out now, Molog. What do you think?
Well,
the least
I did
popular?
look, and I can't remember exactly which one it is.
Ooh.
But I do know it's of a type. Because there was a little stat in there that blew me away, which we'll probably talk about in a minute.
I think I can see the same stat as you, which we'll talk about next, I think, because it was very interesting stats, to say the least.
So the least favourite warband was a Stormcast warband.
It was a Stormcast warband, you are right. So, what
and I'm going to say, just on the fact that it was, because I can't remember, but the fact is that it's new. I'm going to say the brand new one, because barely anybody voted for it, because I've anybody played it.
The Storm of Celestus.
Yes.
So what do people think in the chat? We've had Molog, Condemners, Godsworn, Lazarus has said, Iron Skull Boys, Tim said.
See, it's not Godsworn. Godsworn have got a following.
The Godsworn have got a following.
And people might lose with them, but they love to play them.
So any other guesses? Anyone else got any guesses in there? So we've had Contemners, Iron Skulls. We might have given it away a bit, saying that it's one of the it's a Stormcast warband.
Just a little bit. It's not Iron Skulls.
Tim's just happy it's not Iron Skulls, basically. Yeah. So all the Stormcast warbands should be last, says Mr. Morph. So we'll
VJ.
Yeah, sorry VJ. We're just gonna keep calling you VJ, I'm afraid. Steelheart says Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I can reveal that the least favoured warband with 15 votes only are the Storm of Celestus. They are the least favoured. I think partially that's because they've been out a long time. Sorry, they haven't been out a long time, rather. They've been out only a month or so, but they still picked up 15 votes.
Undead ones weren't. But they weren't second from bottom, were they?
They were not. They were not second from bottom. Can you guess, and can anybody guess now, what was second from bottom? And Robin, I think you know this one.
I can't remember. I do know that it's of a type.
Yes, it's of a type.
And I'm going to go Condemners this time.
I was going to say Condemners. What does everybody else think? Matt says Molog. He's saying it's got to be Molog now. Tim agrees they're saying they're too.
That's all I'm going to say, because obviously the first thing I did was look where Molog was on the list.
Same here. Tim says, is it dwarves? So we've got Molog, eyes, dwarves.
Dwarves.
I think the fact that some of these warbands are so, I'm going to say terrible, and I don't necessarily mean terrible, but I kind of do, like the eyes and stuff like that,
Oh, I see.
attracts people towards them
People
and
love
gives
the
them more of
eyes.
a following.
People love the eyes. People don't like vanilla.
That's true. Well, no, I prefer strawberry.
Exactly. People don't like vanilla warbands, I think. And so that's why certain warbands have gravitated towards the bottom.
Now, nobody yet has guessed properly, has actually guessed. Nobody's guessed what the answer is yet. So I'll give everybody like 30 more seconds, which I think translates to more than 30 more seconds in here. And we'll see. See if anyone can guess it. Ooh. And after this one, I think we'll have to talk about the stat that we've both noticed, I think.
Astonishing stat.
Sorry?
It's an astonishing stat.
It is a very astonishing stat, given things. Damien says Steel Hearts, Mark Rose says Curse Breakers, Lazarus says Blade Captain. Okay, so I think we should tell everybody the second least voted warband are the champions. Severin Steel Hearts champions are second from the bottom, and they've been out quite a while.
So they're less popular than Condemners. Wow.
That's pretty surprising. Now, did you want to mention the stat that you'd spotted, Robin?
Yeah, okay. I noticed that 5 of the 6 least favourite warbands were Stormcast.
Yeah.
So I think, if I remember it, something like Curse Breakers, Iron Skulls, the other four Stormcast warbands.
It went Curse Break. Right. So from least favourite, you had Storm of Celestus, then Champions, then Iron Skulls, then Fast Riders, then Condemners, then Curse Breakers.
Okay, so Iron Skulls were a bit lower than I remembered. But, So poster boys of AOS, Games Workshop's kind of flagship whatevers, and they are the 5 of the 6 worst.
5 of the 6 least favoured. The 7th least favourite, well, the 7th, I don't know what you call it. So the one just above all of those was Wraith Creepers, which is, they've only been out a month, but they still managed to beat most of the Stormcast warbands, some of which come from Season 1.
How did Condemners beat Fast Riders? Orcs was 3. Orcs was 3rd from bottom.
Yeah, Orcs was 3rd from bottom.
Space Marines. Yes, Mark, you're absolutely right. I mean, I understand why they get the hate. I don't. I think there's 4 of them as well, which doesn't help. 5 of them.
5. Yeah.
So that doesn't help. As a concept, they're okay, but they're just not very interesting, are they? And I don't think they play very interesting in this game either, which is a bit of a shame, really.
Now, Matthew Pedder says that he wouldn't have got into the game if it wasn't for Stormcast. So that's an interesting one, but I do think that it's because GW...
Easily or not?
Sorry?
I asked Matt if he could elaborate on why that was.
I'm assuming it's because GW, because Stormcast are quite fairly unique in the fantasy setting, I guess. Maybe that was it, or the fact that GW really did push them big time when they first brought them out and stuff.
I didn't know whether it was because he had Stormcast in other games and then came to this one, or he just saw them and thought, "Ooh, I like these," or we like the Space Marine and stuff. I just wondered if there was a reason, or whether but I don't think they compared with all the other warbands, they're not very interesting. And that's an interesting design decision they've made, because he loves Stormcast, and the minute you drew him in, there you go. There is one. There can be only one.
And I've never, Matthew Penn never played a GW game before. So was Underworlds your first game, Matthew? Was that the first thing you'd come into as a GW game? I presume you played other
never played any
board games of some kind. Never picked up a dice before. Didn't even know what they were.
Do it to your hairs.
Sorry?
Stop it. What are you doing to your hairs?
Very annoying.
Graphs. No, we haven't got any graphs, I'm afraid.
I can show them up, but unfortunately, because there's so many, they're not very easy to fit all on the screen at the same time. All he plays in Warcry is Stormcast.
Okay, so you play Warcry Sins. I don't particularly object to Stormcast as a concept, but I find in Underworlds they're just not very interesting. They're like hit things, and their inspire conditions are all universally dull. and they don't have very many cool tricks.
Yeah, I think that's fair. In response to It Is What Now's question, I will try and get some of these exported into some nice little graphs and put them up on our Facebook pages after this in the coming days. So yeah, do keep an eye on that and watch that and follow, so you can see those when they do pop up. I can use it easily and put it on the screen. Well, I mean, I could if I didn't have about 5 screens I was already juggling. All right, so get off my back.
Easy in theory.
Yeah, it's easy to say.
Oh, Dave Henderson, I'll see you, Dave. See you later.
Instagram. It probably is very customizable if you have the time to actually sit and customize it, which I haven't. So there we go. That's
literally our first use of it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Hopefully in future.
Streaming and everything going on as well. Doing anything to the setup, I find. Pete's a little bit more familiar with it, but I just don't want to do anything in case the main screen never comes back, or you actually show all your tabs off. It's best to keep it as it is.
Matt says that he finds the lore of Stormcast really cool, especially with it being developed and evolving, and I do like that aspect of it. I like the idea that the Stormcast, every time they're reforged, as it were, becomes slightly less human. I do like that idea. I just find that the models are all golden bloke with mace, golden bloke with bow, golden bloke with sword, golden bloke on beastie thing. It's just, they're all really dull to look at.
What I got this week,
Ooh.
Be reading through that and doing a little video on that in the next couple of days. So it's pretty cool.
It Is What Now says, all right, okay, this is a dad cast now. It's always been a dad cast, mate. Because we are dads, and that's pretty much our shtick.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you want something young, this ain't it.
Overweight, incompetence.
Yeah, pretty much.
What we're looking for.
Overweight, thinning hair, grey-haired, incompetence. That's pretty much all you're going to get. And that's pretty much how we do. No faffing about with you, eh? None whatsoever.
No.
But if you don't mind that kind of thing, then you guys, basically.
Well, Matt wants to play Soulbound badly. You want to play it badly? Maybe we want to try
and play it better.
You've come to the right place.
That's how we help people.
Yeah, I would. I definitely want to play. I'm trying to think whether I could manage to sort out a game online. I'm not sure. I need to read through that and work it out. How to do it.
But anyway, that's another subject. Back to the stats.
Another time. Sorry, I've trodden on Pete's survey. I'm sorry.
Stop treading on the survey. So okay, of the next set of warbands, in the next 5 or so somewhere from around 8th from bottom to maybe 15th from bottom, what other kind of warbands do you think are in there? Do we think, we've got some? I mean, what do you think could be in there, eh?
I'm not going to answer.
You're not going to answer. What do people think they're going to see in the middle of the lower table area? What do people think? What do they think will be out there? I'll just start running through them. I think it's probably going to be easy now. People, there's just too many options here could come up. So I'll just start reading them up from the bottom now. So we've got Chosen Axes. I think was a given.
Will they be low?
Yeah,
The Authority is going to be down there somewhere.
We've got Ravagers just above them. Guardians just above them.
Wow, I know Ravagers have got some shtick for being a bit crap, but I'm really surprised that because they're the new hotness, comparatively speaking. I'm really surprised they're down there.
Yeah, I was quite surprised by that.
That surprises me.
And then just above Ravagers is Guardians. Iltharis did not fare well. I think it's because the new Cow Elves are basically like Guardians Mark II in many ways. And then just above those, Mollog. Mollog is next.
Mollog. So what number is Mollog?
Mollog must be about 20th, something like that.
See, Matt says he loves the moderators. The moderators. It's just popped up another moderator's hand with this. Matt says he loves the Ravagers, but they're shite. But being shite isn't necessarily a barrier to being high up in this list.
No, this is just what you enjoy playing.
I love painting my Ravagers, and I feel like I've seen more Ravagers painted than I have seen of any warband. in such a comparatively short amount of time. I think
They
everybody
were.
enjoyed
They did look fantastic.
That they've come so low.
They did look fantastic, the models. Just above Mollog, we've got Godsworn Hunt.
Godsworn Hunt beats Monarch. That's in the great paper scissors stone of Underworld life. That's good to know that Godsworn Hunt beats Monarch.
Just above Godsworn Hunt, we've got Man Trappers. I was quite surprised by. Hrothgorn quite low down. And then we've got Eyes of the Nine above them. Fiends.
Eyes of the Nine beats Monarch, Man Trappers. That's all good.
Fiends. Then you've got Thorns. Then you've got Purifiers. You've got Reavers. My boys.
Reavers above Fiends. That's good. That's solid.
Yeah. You've got Mournflight after that. Blade Coven. Profiteers. Crushers.
What number of Blade Coven?
They're about 15, I think.
Okay. I'm quite surprised that they're lower than. I'm quite surprised they're 15. I'm also quite surprised they're lower than Profiteers because I don't like Profiteers. Obviously, my opinion is correct.
No, Profiteers are above Blade Coven.
Sorry.
But only just, yeah.
I'm just surprised that I would have thought Profiteers were less popular than Blade Coven.
So we've got the top. So we're about into the top 10 now. So Crushers just about missed the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the other ones we've got just outside the top 10 are Crushers and Grimwatch. Outside the top 10. So there we go. So we're into the top 10 range now. Now I think we kind of need to slow things down again. Sorry?
10. Have you got a graphic like a 10, 9, 8?
No, because this is Dad Cam.
Can you do Fluff Freeman pop pickers?
I wish I could.
Do.
So at number 10, what do you think is number 10? Can you remember?
No, I can't remember.
Okay. Number 10.
No, I can't think. My mind's gone blank.
The Wild Hunt at 10.
Oh, Wild Hunt. Wild Hunt at 10. Wild Hunt are on my top 5. I wrote down my top 5 and Wild Hunt are in that list. I haven't picked a favourite. Wild Hunt are in my top 5.
At 10, hunting their Banoffee. The Banoffee trackers. The Wild Hunt.
Good models, I think.
Yeah, I do like the models to them. Number 9. What do we think is number 9?
10. Sorry. 9. Number 9. Despoilers. Remember Despoilers yet, have we?
We have not had Despoilers, but they are not number 9. It is Scritch's Swarm at number 9.
I would have above Despoilers. Did you put Despoilers in? Did you forget them?
Despoilers are number 8.
Okay.
There you go.
Despoilers are also in my top 5. I thought I had to pick them because they're the ones I'm playing at the moment. And therefore, if they weren't in my top 5, I'd be a bit stupid, wouldn't I?
No, I couldn't say, possibly. At number 7, what do you think is at 7?
7. The Crimson Court.
Crimson Court is not 7. It is the Stalkers, the Starblood Stalkers at 7.
I forgot them. Yeah, they're in my top 5 too.
I would have thought they would have been higher. I was quite surprised they were as low as they are.
Yeah.
So just to reiterate, and then at number 6 we've got the Sepulchral Guard.
Number 6, Sepulchral Guard. I'm amazed. I know people love them, but I'm amazed they're in the top 5. Oh, the top one, not the top 5. I remember just outside the top 5. Maybe it's because you phrased the question, who do you like to play? People like to play them. They destroy them.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, could be.
I haven't played them since Arena Mortis came out. So I know they're in a boost.
So somebody said Lady Harrow. Lady Harrow's about 15 or 16, I think, the Mournflight. They were just below Blade Coven and just above Reavers. So we're down to the top 5. The top 5. Do you have your list for the top 5, Robin?
I didn't write them down.
You didn't write them down, okay.
Exclamation mark on who was number 3, because I was quite surprised they were number 3.
So number 5 of the warbands we've got remaining, there are in there in no specific order whatsoever. I'll put them in alphabetical order if I can. There's Crimson Court in there. There's Dread Pageant in there. There's the Gits. There's Snarlfangs, and there's Wormspat. Ooh.
Nobody's mentioned the Wormspat at all. Is that because everybody thought they were in the top 5? Nobody's mentioned them.
Yeah, I think I kind of assumed Wormspec would be mid-table obscurity. Really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised the Gits are in there at
No.
all because people love the Gits. I'm really surprised Wormspec are in there. I'm quite surprised. You say the Dread Pageant?
Dread Pageant are in there.
Quite surprised the Dread Pageant are in there. I would put them. I guess they're probably, with the possible exception of the Crimson Court. Actually, I think I would have said Stalkers as people prefer playing to them. So I'm quite surprised they're there.
I would have. I would have thought too. I'm quite surprised that Snarfangs are in there, but that could be because I don't really like Snarfangs.
Well, I don't like Snarfangs either, so I am surprised to see that Snarfangs in the top 5.
Matthew Penn says Ripper is life.
Ripper's top 3. Yeah, it's funny because I don't find the playing experience fun with Rippers. But
I mean, we must just do something wrong with Rippers. I can only assume.
Yeah.
We need to watch more of Matthew's games with Rippers and see.
That's for me. Well, to be fair, they're reasonably dice reliant, Pete. That's probably why you don't like them.
That is a good point.
I just don't understand them. I think they're a very technical warband that require skill and you need to be good with them. And I think that's why, with our kind of fairly glossing over approach, I don't think I've ever really understood how to make them work.
Damien says Crimson Court for the models, but he's yet to see anyone play with them. Well, we just released our first Crimson Court match against the Starblood Stalkers on our Patreon page today, so there will be a follow-up game coming at the end of this week again. A rematch of Crimson Court versus Starblood Stalkers then. So let's see. So number 5, which one do you think of those is number 5?
Me?
Yeah.
Or just
everyone. Everyone out there. Valentin's in the house. What's up? So Valentin, we're at the top 5.
I can remember who was number 1.
Okay, so you've got a small advantage. But can you remember who's number 5?
I've already forgotten what the choices were.
So you've got Wormspat, Gits, Snarfangs, Pageant, and Crimson Court.
Crimson Court, number 5.
Okay, what do people think? Jan says Wormspat, Court at number 5, says Damien. Anybody else out there? We will go back to in a minute. Somebody asked, Morph said he'd like to see the order for the warbands that were in the season starters. So we know that champions are like second from bottom. Garrick's were mid-table obscurity. Wild Hunt and Despoilers were both
bottom as well, obviously.
Oh yeah, they were near the bottom. Thorns were very close to the bottom. They were just above Fiends and Eyes of the Nine, so they were about a third from the bottom.
We've got a good selection of warbands, for people guessing who was number 5. I think nobody really knows.
Yes.
There's a whole range of answers.
So number 5 was the Crimson Court. I suspect maybe they got there partially because they're the new kids on the block, maybe.
Yeah, they are gorgeous models. They've got fascinating mechanics.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would expect them to be higher.
I wonder how much of their mechanics is actually going to be useful. We were talking about during one of the matches, there's a lot of text on that card, but not a lot of it applies a lot of the time. So,
Valentin missed the beginning. What kind of ranking are we doing? So, Valentin, I don't know if you noticed, we did a poll. So we got back 250 entries of people, basically various questions, and we're now on the last question, which is the first question, but discussing this question last, which is what is everybody's favourite warband?
Yeah, well, select the warband you like to play most, either for or against.
Oh, you participate. Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, that's what we're discussing. So we're discussing what do you like to play against or with most.
So that's number 5, Crimson Court. So now we have, in alphabetical order, Dread Pageant, Gits, Snarfangs, and Wormspat left. What do people think is number 4? Stick it in your comments now. What do you think, Robin, or do you remember?
I think I remember by process of elimination. So keep stum.
Matt from Into the Glory Hole says he found it difficult to keep on top of the text on the cards, but he's planning to main them for a while and see how it goes. I do think that the cards can be a bit tricky in places, but the fighter cards, I still can't work out whether I want to inspire or blood craze them. Lazarus says Crimson Court brand new but ranked 5. The starter set warbands are both new but near the bottom. Well, actually, Yeah, the brand new starter set.
Actually, Lazarus. I thought that was interesting.
I wonder if it's just because they're so new. I mean, we've not even played a game with them yet.
But so the Crimson Court. I think there is I think I commented on our last live chat. I think there's a slight disconnect between the extra sets and the sort of core season warband. So, although Lady Harrows is reasonably high in this poll, she's the top. She's the top one of the two. So Dreadfane and the starter set. I think people are almost either forget it exists or don't really care about them that much. There's just something about them because they're not part of a season. I think they don't grip people in the same way. So half of the Stormcast either.
Could be. So at number four is the Wormspat, our favourite trio of Todgers. I can't think of another word to begin with T there. Favourite trio of turgid somethings. So yeah, the Wormspat at number 4. I mean, I'm very happy to see them up, but I think it's just people love. When they first came out, we talked about how there was this massive surge in the community to say, let's get the Wormspat to be good. So Matthew Penn says Crimson Court were available on Vassal almost immediately on the spoilers. Others took a week or so extra. Yeah, I think that possibly is part of it.
Even Games Workshop to give less of a shit about them because they haven't spoiled all their cards, have they? I don't think.
That's true.
They all the Crimson Court ones. I don't think you saw all of them.
Yeah, they've not done that. They've not done a welcome to the Warband kind of thing or anything, have they?
No.
So VJ has just realised that this puts the two Gobbo Warbands in the top 3. So we're in the top 3 now. We've got left in alphabetical order the Dread Pageant, Gits and Snarlfangs. So I think we maybe just have to announce them all at this point, don't we?
I guess you could do a 3, but then you do.
Okay. So we'll do 3. What do people think is third place? Dreadfang, Gits or Snarlfangs? And you can remember this one, can't you, Robin? So
I can. Gits were number 3.
There we go.
Gits were number 3, which I was absolutely stoked about. I didn't think they'd be the most popular, but I was really pleased to see them up there. I think they're the most fun, most interesting, and enjoyable warband to play, and enjoyable warband to play against.
I do think that's one of the things that wins it for them. The fact that they've got so many different things going on. Even if you're playing against them as a fighty warband, there's loads of things to chew on. So there's always options there.
Yeah, and they're just fun, aren't they? They've got the scurry mechanic, which in itself is fun. They've got Mad Cat Mushrooms, which I don't think anybody ever plays, but it's called Mad Cat Mushrooms. It's really good. They've got Squigs, they've got Snurk. There just isn't. It's just fun on every level.
Yeah, definitely.
Set story car park.
Drop Bear, good remembering. Drop Bear Stalkers were 7th. They were 7th. I will try and get all these published up onto the Facebook page tomorrow in the coming days. So anybody who wants these stats in more detail can go and look there.
Cool too. I'm not sure it is Andrew.
So
it's fun. I guess it's fun.
So we're left with 2 top spots left. We've got the Dread Pageant and we've got Snarlfangs. Now I know there's definitely going to be a split in the house as to who prefers what here.
Scritch was.
Scritch. The Swarm, they were about 9th place. Scritch's Swarm came in at 9th.
Dino's only 7. You don't know what you're talking about. I love the Stalkers. They're in my top 5 now.
I haven't played the Stalkers yet, but they do seem to have a lot of stuff to go on that could make them interesting to play. And they're certainly.
So should we have we should have a little kind of commenty thing where people put. What can they put for trying to think like an emoji that they can put for.
I don't know. They can put a dog. Is there a dog emoji? If there is, you can put a dog emoji for Snarlfangs, and you can just put a heart for Dread Pageant.
An aubergine for the Dread Pageant.
Oh yeah. There's an aubergine, unfortunately. Carrot. Anything phallic? No. So put a dog for Snarlfangs and put a heart for Dread Pageant.
Go now.
Vote. Give them a couple of minutes to get the votes through because there's a bit of lag there.
2 dogs.
What do we think?
3.
Matthew Pennis put a wolf.
Oh, that's an impressive heart. Mark Reynolds has found an aubergine.
Hey, aubergines and hearts will both be accepted. Oh, a flaming heart. Oh, it's close. It's 4-3 at the minute.
Yeah.
Come on, your vote matters. It doesn't, but it's interesting to see.
Oh, it's a hot dog. It's a hot dog. Is that a dog or an aubergine?
I was going to say, does that go in? Does that go in Rippers or Dread Pageant?
Between two backs, I'm not sure which one it is.
I mean, the votes here are as close as it can get. There's dogs and wolves and aubergines and hearts everywhere. So just we've got a poodle, we've got a splash, we've got some
This
hearts.
is just the best thing we've ever done in our entire thing. Just Sigmar.
I will say that there's only one vote in this.
Matt's voted for both.
There's only one. There's only one vote in this. One got 77 votes and one
really?
got 78.
Only separated by one. Wow.
Yep, 77 and 78, and that's only a quarter. Just about a quarter of the overall votes. Just over,
Right.
maybe near 30%. Well, I can see actually, 30.5 and 30.9.
Reasonable percentage, I think.
Not bad. Not bad. A third, coming towards a third of all people.
A third of all people.
So
all people to the poll.
So who? I mean, I know, I'm pretty certain I voted Dread Pageant and I didn't vote Snarlfangs. I'm not 100% sure.
I didn't vote.
You didn't vote?
No, sorry. I didn't really know I was meant to.
I mean, this is why we don't get anywhere, Robin. Come on. So, yeah. I mean, it's about as close as it can get. How many have we got?
If
So
I
we've got...
voted, I wouldn't have voted for either of them, actually, so I would have made no difference.
I'm just trying to count them, but I can't count them because there's two different counts I need to make and I can't count it.
Do you know I haven't played Pageant yet? I probably should.
You
Matt
haven't
Penn
played Pageant, and I haven't played the Starblood Stalker, so maybe we should swap them round. I mean, they're both top 10 warband, so maybe that'll get us loads and loads of votes.
Yeah, maybe we should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 dogs. And
Are you counting the hot dog?
no, I didn't count the hot dog. I assumed that was rude. But let's say 1, 2, 3.
Sex
8.
cow, sex cow.
Yes, actually, it's supposed to be 8 all. not 8. Not an 8 with the hot dog.
You're a sex cow. You're really, really sexy, and we just don't know how. Sex cow, sex cow. Right, I'll put people out of the misery then. Do you want to tell everybody at home what was number 1 spot, Robin?
No, you better, because you've got it in front of you, just in case I've misremembered. I don't want a whole Oscar ceremony problem.
We said they had champions. Oh no, wait, fuck. The top spot was taken by the Dread Pageant.
You kinky lot, you.
Mm.
I'm amazed by that.
I was quite surprised by that.
Yeah, well, amazed is perhaps slightly too strongly, but I was very surprised that everybody voted. Well, that's the favourite across the board. 30% of the vote. You said that's quite a lot.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, the difference between Crimson Court in 5th place and Dread Pageant in 1st place was about 10 votes.
Right. Okay.
So there wasn't a lot in it. It was as close. This is a photo finish kind of situation to be in, but they were all real close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Marlowe says he is a fan of the Dread Pageant. He has obviously forsworn Zinch and
Bushcrack. I don't want to know about his bushcrack.
Whoopah! He has joined the Dark Prince and left old chicken face.
Not even Matt, he's as kinky as hell, can support this ranking for the Dread Pageant. Should have been green skin.
Foreskin instead of green skin.
Excellent. Dread Pageant did so well. Fair play. I'm really surprised. But I guess they've got a following. But maybe a lot of people are secretly into it. Don't like to tell people.
Well, it's that dirty kink, isn't it? You don't tell people about your models.
Exactly. We're British.
Exactly. Don't do that kind of thing.
And obviously, you're not all British, but
but even the ones who are British are sort of British.
Yeah.
So 252 people voted. The top 6 or so spots all had north of 66 votes in. The top spot was 78, so it was very close.
I have to say, I don't agree with you, VJ. I am quite surprised that two of the top three were goblins. Gits, I would expect to be up there. Rippers, I suppose on reflection people will like them, but I think I am surprised that two of the top three are goblin warbands.
I was quite surprised that Wormspat did as well as they did it, getting in number 4. I was really surprised by that. Let me just show up the stats on screen.
I thought Stalkers would squeak in the top 5 because they knew.
You thought Squawkers would steak it.
Yeah. I'm quite surprised how low my Armies are, but I suppose that's the Lumineth sort of not yin yang, sort of love-hate relationship people have with it.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm not sure what I would have expected to say. Having said, I'm surprised these warbands are that high. I'm not sure what I would have thought would replace it. If you see what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I was mid of the top 10. I was pleasantly surprised to see warbands such as the Swarm and Despoilers in there. I thought Stalkers would be higher as well. And seeing Sepulchral Guard at 6th was
actually that really does surprise me. But I guess again, what place it with? But I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm just blown away by it all.
I think what we'll have to do, like we said at the start of this, we have paid for a SurveyMonkey subscription for the next year, so many surveys will be occurring, and I think what we'll try and do is we'll maybe try and get the other content providers involved, see if we can spread the word and get a great big census going on Underworlds. Maybe try and get that done every few months or something like that, depending on how much people get sick of filling out
surveys.
And because I'd like to see what the difference is between what people would vote to say.
Thanks for your contribution this evening, Matt. It's good to have you on.
Thank you for joining us, and I hope you're not too.
You're very happy. The Rippers have come in at number 2.
Yeah, screw this stupid survey. Bollocks to you all.
Maybe do a survey on the servers. It may get to that point, Andrew. It may get to that point.
Mr. Morph says, does that make Scripts the highest ranked Season 1 warband? No, that is the Sepulchral Guard.
Oh, yeah.
But not
by quite a margin.
Not masses, because Swarm were like 9th.
Oh, sorry. I misremembered where they were. How about Season 2 warband? So what's the highest Season 2 warband?
So that would be the Gits, wouldn't it? No, Snarlfangs. No, it would be Gits.
The Gits, yeah. What about the Gits?
Season 3 would be Snarlfangs, and then Season 4 is the Dread Pageant.
Okay.
Mike Fett says it would show any trends possibly. Yeah, I'm wondering if as some of the warbands like the Crimson Court and that have been out a while, maybe they'll fall in favour, or maybe they'll, some of the other ones like the Dreepers, Creepers might rise as people play them more and realise, a bit like Lady Harrows, actually these guys are pretty frigging good.
Did you see how there with that rise?
I didn't see that one.
Okay, I'm just
well, the Skelly's raised to first place. Very good.
I thought you just stole it because you said the Creepers might rise.
I missed that one completely.
Swooped in, deleted the comment.
Just stole it.
Claim it as your own.
It was all mine. Morph says that people come in 2 flavours, Gobbo fans and wrong. I mean, I couldn't possibly say. There we go. I mean, anybody got any questions quickly about any of the stats that we just ran through that they want just to quickly go over again? I mean,
anybody got anything interesting you'd like us to poll about?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have to start asking.
But we won't necessarily limit this to Underworlds. We'll probably go off all sorts of tangents. Which is your favourite tangent?
Like, how many hours do you get to play a week? That's always an interesting one to find out. How much game time people actually have.
Eating habits.
Biscuit choices, that kind of thing.
If we can poll it, we will.
Yeah. And even if we can't, we'll have a fucking good go.
Yeah.
I mean, I was quite surprised to see warbands such as the Eyes do as well as they did. I mean, they beat people like Man-Trappers, Mollog and stuff like that, and Ravagers.
Really surprised to see Ravagers so low. I mean, because they are way down, and they're obviously fairly new.
But one of the biggest shocks, which we already talked about, and some people might not have been in when we mentioned it, and I don't think Val was, which was the fact that of the bottom 6 warbands, 5 of them were Stormcast warbands.
I'm not surprised when you think about actually how people rate the Stormcast warbands. But yeah, people played Curse-Breakers a lot when they were really good, but people mostly hated them as well. So I am quite I'm not surprised, and it's interesting what it says about the poster boys of the realm in this game. I think they're not relevant really. And so to a degree, lore and stuff isn't relevant in this game. So I think they're less interesting from that perspective.
I wonder if because I wonder if because some of them, like the Storm of Celestus, haven't been out very long for people to get used to them. Champions have been out. They're season 1, so you can't even really get champions anymore. Fast Riders, you can't really get anymore. Condemners, I mean, they're a bit more recent, I guess. Condemners, Curse Breakers, again, they're fairly recent.
Really boring, I think. Mark Reynolds says, because you asked favourite to play with or against, maybe people just enjoy killing goblins. Well, that's possibly true. Maybe we should split out the question and say, which is your favourite to play, which is your favourite to play against.
Yes, and we were kind of a bit rushed at the time when we thought, crap, let's do this. This would be really good. And we kind of hit one speed bump in that we did it and we sent it out. And then we're like, awesome, we've had 70, 80, 90 responses. Oh, it caps at 40 unless we have a paid account. So
we paid. Stormcaster boring. Ben Howard asked, where did Crushers come, Pete?
Crushers came about 12th. So at 10th place we had Wild Hunt, 11th was Grimrots, 12th was Crushers, 13th was Profiteers.
Champions were re-released in season 2 as well. They were, of course, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Most of us have played since the beginning, and most of us have forgotten that.
Yeah, I mean, we had the stat.
We can now say things like most of us have played since the beginning because the polls says it so. Although obviously, like polls, only a very small subset of the population actually vote.
But that now counts for everybody. That's how polls work.
I'm afraid we are leaving the garage. Garage shit.
Garage gate. Garage, yeah.
Garden gate.
Garexit. So yeah, I definitely think we will be doing more questions in the future, more of these surveys, because I think they give a really good talking point around these kind of things. Maybe see if we get stuff going around the cards, card usage, what people's favourite cards are and stuff like that. And then maybe try and get people's opinion on what is more competitive or strong to play versus what we think is weak to play.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to chart the meta. I don't know, obviously other people do that, but it'd be quite interesting if you had a regular vote on what you think is best at any given time. Then you could do one of those float, like a graph thing, and then see which more bands are more popular than others. Would be quite good.
BJ says that a warband can be an insta-win, but if he doesn't like the minis or faction, he won't play them. I mean, I'm 90% that. I definitely.
Pete and I have rarely played Monologue. Haven't played Crushers at all, hardly, except to show off Crushers. So I think there's a lot of us are like that. I guess if you're going to a major tournament and want to win it, then you've got to play what you think is best, really.
I mean, Monologue, I'm not a massive fan of the model for Monologue. I don't really like the troll model. But also on top of that, once we started playing him and we realised how divisive he was back then, and he's still now to an extent quite divisive, less so than he was at the height of
I think
Nightfall.
With the reroll, it became more so.
Yeah,
I think. And
so
this bloody reroll, healing card.
Yeah,
the ferocious resistance. It's an interesting one. I think the problem with Mono, from perspective of doing a channel, the games often are either all the dice rolls work, in which case he kills everybody, or they don't, in which case he's taken down, and the game's not so exciting. That said, we did have a brilliant Mantrapper game, didn't we?
That is true. That was Clash of the Big Boys. That was good.
Pre-Arena Mortis, I think. Was it the in-person one?
So Ben Howe says in the new starters, Stormcast are very limited in their counters, creepers, more flight are better. I think there is that as well. The warbands.
It's kind of. I wonder whether they need to revisit. I mean, I'm not sure they need to do any more Stormcast warbands, but they don't. The rules writers don't quite seem to get Stormcast right. Maybe being boring and not doing much is in keeping with the lore, but they don't have anything too exciting. I think in any of the games, like Condemners, I haven't really looked at these very new ones, but Condemners are just Steelhearts rewritten, and they're not very interesting.
There's nothing massively exciting about them.
These guys got the bows, but then they can only fire them once a turn.
Once a round, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, but to me that seems boring. Even if it would be unbalanced, if they could fire them every turn, it just seems a bit rubbish and a bit. I'm not sure it's the best game designer. We're given these really good things, but they can only use them once. I'm not sure that feels like a bit of a restriction for restriction's sake.
Matt from Mid's Glory Hole says that Nike Carling, I'm assuming he means Mike Carling, but maybe he means Nike Carling, loves Moloch, fully expects Ferocious Resistance to be banned. I mean,
banned?
I think banning it's a bit strong, but I mean,
I can see why. It's too strong in certain matchups.
Well, whenever Moloch's got it, it's just horrific to be able to possibly gain effectively 3 or 4 wounds back on him. Maybe, I can see why. Mark Reynolds said that he would never play the strongest warband, knowing that he has an advantage, takes some of the fun out of it. I'm personally the same. If a warband is seen generally as quite strong, like Grimwatch were near the start of Beastgrave and stuff, I generally just. I'll just avoid them. I don't like knowing that I'm already playing a top tier sort of warband. I always go for the underdog.
Maybe they treat Stormcast as new player material, hence they're mostly in starters. Yeah, I would go along with that and agree with that, except Lady Harrow's Mornflight are the most complicated warband there are going, just about, with all the different things that they can do when they're inspired. So those two things have never quite matched up for me.
I wonder if a little bit of it is because Stormcast are so jammed down people's throats. They obviously pick them as the starter warband to sell it because that's their thing. I mean, if you look at the boxes behind me, you've got oh look, Stormcast, oh look, Stormcast, oh look, Stormcast. It's only been the last 2 that haven't had any Stormcast in. So I wonder but even though they do that, they realise that they don't want to make Stormcast overly powerful, so they naturally just sort of gimp them without really meaning to, and then they've just made them boring as a result.
Maybe. I was just thinking, looking at the boxes behind there, the one on the left is Celestus, whatever it's called. It almost could be like still after he's been stuck down there for 50 years. Still haven't found my way out.
He's got the same shaped jaw as well. Look at it. Right, there we go. There it is. Like, hello, I'm young. And this is how bloody fed up with this shite.
Lockdown. Homeschooling 3 kids and a fucking griffin.
Stupid fucking griffin that keeps bloody wanting to go outside every time I shut the door. There you go and go out again. You've already had a piss. There you go, side by side. Look at that.
Yeah.
They couldn't be much similar if they weren't. They're fancy Space Marines.
Just a tired champion, Steelheart. We're rambling now. Seems like it might be time to.
We might be. I mean, I'm just going to take this moment to just reiterate how terrible is the art for his head.
It's not good. It's not good, is it?
I mean, look at
I like the hair. The hair. I model my own hair on him. But no, isn't it?
Hello, my name's Peter. Yeah, it's just terrible. He got better, thankfully. He got better. Right. So there we go. There are the stats. Like I say, we will try and get them out onto Facebook sometime in the next few days so people can see the breakdowns of them. And we will try and get more of these done in the future.
Yes. Yeah, if you have any polls you'd like to know, any bits of information you want us to ask the community, then do let us know either in the comments of this video now or after it's gone live, or even on Facebook when we post the stats. But yeah, let us know, or just drop us a line, send us a message, and we'll see what we can do. If you don't already, I think most of you do. But if you don't already support us on Patreon, do consider having a little go, because we can always do with extra support on there, and we're up to nearly 100 now. 98 of you lovely people supporting us on there,
Fantastic.
And we'll soon be crashing into season 3 of our online tournament. Season 2 has been great, and it's just gonna. And Pete and I are meeting in the garage very, very soon now. It's Patreon's only going to get better and better and better. So do consider joining for us too, please. Thank you.
Yeah, please. VJ asks, will all the poll results be posted in Discord? Yeah, I'll chuck
Discord
them on there as well.
On actual Patreon as well.
Yeah.
Tend to forget that exists now. That most of our dialogue is done on Discord, but yeah,
it is.
We'll put them everywhere.
If you are a Patreon supporter and you haven't joined the Discord, do, because that's where all the crazy chat goes down.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us this evening. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope there's something interesting there for everyone.
Sorry, I'm just going to butt in here. Tim says it's so bad, and then says it does look like Robin a bit.
And John Grant agreed with him.
That's the biggest burn since Rosa. I can't remember what Rosa said about me that time.
I mean, John's agreed as well. So, John, I mean, you want to come over and play some games in the half term. If you want to get killed and buried in the garden, I mean, that's the way to go about it, is agreeing. Mr. Marlowe says he's brushing up on his dad jokes. Yep. Recently was a toad was given DNA test to find out its origin. It was part French, part Irish, and a tadpole.
Oh, that's awful.
I'm going to use that one tomorrow. There we go. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this evening, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone.
See you soon. Bye.